The initial text specifies how in 1969, the U.S. Naval Force laid out a school for military pilots. It is formally alluded to as Contender Weapons School, however the volunteers refer to it as Top Firearm. We see a few volunteers and Naval Force men on the boats where the pilots take off or make their profits. Skipper Pete, freethinker, Mitchell, Tom Journey, rides his bike to a base where he is set for a scramjet flight exhibition. However, he is informed that back Chief Naval Officer Chester, Sledge, Cain, Ed Harris, is en route to close the program down to divert reserves somewhere else. Not feeling discouraged, Freethinker takes the fly similarly as Cain shows up, and he flies it up high, taking it past its unique Mach 9 projection and hitting Mach 10, to the pleasure of the team. Notwithstanding, Nonconformist attempts to take it quicker and winds up destroying the fly. However, he figures out how to discharge in time. Cain censured Dissident for his activities, yet while he needs to have Freethinker grounded, Cain rather illuminates him that he has been gotten back to NAS North Island by his previous opponent/associate. Naval Commander Tom Iceman Kazansky, Val Kilmer. Nonconformist heads to the base to meet Bad Habit Chief Naval Officer Playmate, Twister, Simpson, John Hamm, and back Chief Naval Officer Solomon, Warlock, Bates, Charles Parnell. Typhoon clarifies that he doesn't find in Freethinker anything Ice finds in him, however he illuminates Nonconformist regarding the main job. A rebel country is activity a uranium office, and Freethinker should train another gathering of enlisted people to figure out how to come to the base and bomb it. Dissident goes to a bar where he reunites with Penny Benjamin, Jennifer Connelly, an ex that he left some time back, which irritated her naval commander father. She bears no malevolence toward Dissident, however she winds up making him pay a round for everybody at the bar. At similar bar, the new class of pilots are there to drink. Among them is superstar Jake, Executioner, Saracen, Glenn Powell, who sees himself as the probably going to lead the new class. There is likewise Natasha, Phoenix, Follow, Monica Barbaro, Robert, Weave, Floyd, Louis Pullman, Ruben, Compensation, Fitch, Jay Ellis, and Mickey, Fanboy, Garcia, Danny Ramirez. Entering minutes after the fact is Bradley, Chicken, Bradshaw, Miles Teller, child of Nonconformist's late dearest companion Goose. After Freethinker's card declines, Penny has Executioner and Compensation energetically toss Dissident out. Outside, Dissident watches Chicken playing the piano and is helped to remember Goose, however Nonconformist actually feels responsibility over Goose's passing. Nonconformist later meets with the pilots to present himself and go over the mission. Since the office is found profound at the lower part of a gorge, Freethinker's arrangement to take it out includes having two planes obliterate the entry to the office prior to stirring things up around town itself. A portion of the pilots aren't installed, similar to Executioner. Chicken loathes Freethinker since he pulled Chicken's application and hampered his profession by 4 years. Freethinker then, at that point, happens with the dogfight practices with the pilots, flaunting his abilities to screw with the more youthful group. The pilots that bomb their activities are compelled to do push-ups. Later on, Executioner finds Chicken's association with Nonconformist. Nonconformist returns to the bar to repay Penny what he owes her. He then goes through the midday on her boat with her, and there is obviously still a flash between them. In the following round of activities, Nonconformist makes sense of for the pilots about how they might lose oxygen and awareness assuming they fly too high, help them to remember how high and low they should go when they do their main goal. During the activity, Chicken is displayed to use a more mindful methodology in his flying. Executioner raises Freethinker's companionship with Goose, which incites Chicken into almost going after Executioner, yet different pilots split them up. Ice demands Dissident go visit him. He is experiencing throat disease and can predominantly impart through a PC. Freethinker communicates his anxiety over working with Chicken, expecting that something will happen to him like with Goose. Ice lets him know he should work intimately with Chicken, and he figures out how to address Freethinker and let him know that the youthful pilots need him more than he understands. Typhoon ventures out onto the runway to observe that no one is there. He tracks down that free thinker brought the pilots over to the ocean side to play football as a holding exercise, which seems to work since they are having some good times. Dissident later goes out with Penny and tells her that he pulled Chicken's application since his mom requested that free thinker take care of him before she died. Pulled Chicken's application since his mom requested that free thinker take care of him before she died. The pilots then go through a preparation exercise to strike the objective at a specific elevation and in a specific measure of time. Everybody neglects to finish the responsibility on a case-by-case basis, with Phoenix expecting to launch before her stream crashes. Nonconformist chastens Chicken for how he handles his activity, prompting them quarreling about free thinker blocking Chicken's flying vocation. They are interfered with when Warlock comes in to illuminate them that ice has passed on. A burial service is held for him days after the fact, with free thinker, Penny, and different pilots in participation. Twister chooses to take over educational obligations from free thinker. At the point when he proposes an elective arrangement, different pilots appear to address him. Outside, the radars recognize Dissident flying his fly to finish the activity, where he can fire at the objective on the ground barely in time. Dazzling every one of the pilots, including Executioner, the mission is completed, with free thinker picking Chicken as his partner, and being joined by Executioner, Phoenix, Fanboy, Compensation, and Sway. They fly toward the office, with their close-by plane-carrying warship terminating long-range weapons at the base to obliterate the runway, causing adversary planes to scramble back toward the objective. They figure out how to send off a rocket and obliterate the office, yet the foe sends more pilots after them. The pilots begin to fly back, however Nonconformist's fly is taken shots at, making him crash. Chicken pivots and goes to save Nonconformist. A chopper starts discharging at Dissident while he is walking, yet Chicken kills it, not long before his own stream is destroyed, yet he figures out how to launch himself in time. Dissident and Chicken rejoin and devise an arrangement to leave. They spot AF-14 Tomcat and assume command over it. They begin to take off and are sought after by foe jets, prompting a dogfight. Albeit Dissident figures out how to take two of them out with projectiles and flares. They run out of weaponry similarly as a third stream comes their direction. Chicken is additionally incapable to discharge himself, so the two acknowledge that they are going to kick the bucket until Executioner comes through and annihilates the last fly. Nonconformist and Chicken return to the transporter, where their team complements them. Chicken and Executioner have a freshly discovered regard for each other, while Chicken ganders at Dissident the same way his dad checked him out. Chicken aids Dissident work on a P-51 Colt in Nonconformist's shelter. Penny appears, and Dissident takes her for a trip in his plane. Chicken puts down a photograph of himself and free thinker right close to a more established photograph of Dissident and Goose. Chief Pete, Dissident, Mitchell is gotten back to his old flight school to prepare a more youthful gathering of pilots to take determined to obliterate a uranium office. Making things trying for Nonconformist is that one of the pilots is Bradley, Chicken, Bradshaw, child of Dissident's late dearest companion Goose, who was killed during a flight workout. In spite of contentions between the pilots, including Chicken and a presumptuous pilot called Executioner, Dissident can make a connection between them. After his previous adversary/associate Iceman kicks the bucket, the group is prepared to complete the mission after their broad activities. They prevail with regards to obliterating the office, however free thinker is shot somewhere around the adversary. Chicken returns for him yet has chance down in the wake of saving free thinker. They discover AF-14 Tomcat and fly it. They get into a dogfight with other foe pilots and are at last saved by Executioner when they run out of ammunition. Chicken and Executioner foster a newly discovered regard for one another, and Chicken has a superior relationship with Dissident. Nonconformist additionally reconnects with a former sweetheart, Penny.